Alright, what is up everybody? It's Lids, and we are back for some more Pyre Community Rite Nights. Yeah, basically, my power just went out. Funnily enough, mid-sentence, as SSC was talking, SSC said the word lose, and as soon as it happened, my screen went black, my AC turned off, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's how it is, huh? So can SSC control the power grid with a single word? Perhaps. Perhaps. Either way, let's jump back in here. Fortunately, I think we were just finishing a rite, were we not? So, I mean, I suppose, as timing goes, it was actually, could have been a lot worse. But anyways, let me hop back into Discord here. Yeah, the rite just finished, I mean, yeah. Suppose if you were to pick a time for it to happen, then that would probably be it. So, let me hop back in here. Alright.
Hi.
I'm back, and I am joined by perhaps the person who is responsible for the power grid turn up. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. But how's it going, SSC?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I think Core is sitting out now.
Okay. So, yeah, SSC, you want to get back in, and then Core, you're saying you might want to swap out now?
He's saying that in Twitch chat, yeah.
Okay. So let me send the invite here to SSC. I think I gotta boot up Steam Friends real quick as well. Okay, so invite sent now to SSC, and that'll mean we'll be looking for someone else. Wait, what? Why does... Huh? That's weird. For some reason, I would have thought that the streaming software would have carried over the stuffs from last time, but apparently SSC has turned into iRotor, Core has turned into Anor, but it remembered the sigils? I don't know. Well, remembered one of the sigils, but not the other. That's weird. That's weird. Anyways, so, who would like to go against SSC here?
What did you say the magic word was, by the way?
You said the word lose. And when you said the word lose, I lost power. Like, immediately as you finished saying the word.
What was I talking? Was I talking about the 3-sap thing?
I think so.
You won't want to be the guy who loses to 3 saps. I think that was it.
Okay. And this time, my power has remained on. Knock on wood. So maybe it was just a coincidence, but the world may never know.
I mean, we could test it again if you want.
Please don't.
Okay.
I'd rather not.
Well, I've already said it, so...
True, we have already tested it once. So, is there anybody who has not yet had the chance to play today who would like to? Got SSC. But, who else? Well, I've not even really checked to see. People are saying, who survived the transition, you know? Did people abandon ship as soon as the power went out and the stream went down? Perhaps? Actually, tell you what, let me send a quick heads up in Discord just to let people know that it is in fact back up. Obviously people in Twitch chat know that now, but let's see, so just in case. Just in case, I'll drop the link. Just so that it is readily apparent to people. We are back. We are back in business. Because it may be... I mean, maybe the people took this opportunity to take a snack or bathroom break. In which case, perhaps we need someone to just fill in for a little bit. I mean... Not seen anyone immediately volunteering to jump in here, and in the absence of such a person, I could fill in myself, but of course I would defer to others if there is anyone who wants to jump in. Baylor says he can do it, just needs a couple minutes. All right, well, tell you what, Baylor, I need to set you up anyway, so that sounds good to me. Let's do just that. Okay, got Baylor, player 2 in that case. Presumably will be the Fate.
Presumably is right.
I mean, I think there's like maybe one time when you haven't done it. Only when you've gone against someone who isn't, or someone else who also likes to play as the Fate.
Some other Fate player at some point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me send you an invite as well, Taylor. Should be on its way.
All right, I'm in.
Awesome. All right. And so, chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see between these two.
Hey, I'm player 1.
Oh. Huh. That's strange. Definitely had SSE in here first. That's odd. I mean, let's... Even now, once we have you both on controller, you still player 1?
Yep.
Hang on a sec. What connected?
May just be...
SSE. Back and forth. See if you change player 1 or player 2.
Okay, there we go.
Alright, so you are switched in that case.
Yes.
Alright, let me just switch around on stream as well, so that SSE is not scoring on SSE and Failure is not scoring on Failure. That would get confusing.
Joins your ranks.
Oh, and Amanda, thanks for the subscription. Hope you are enjoying the stream, of course. Alright, so let's see. And this is SSC. Oh, we've got some requests as well to go along with that. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, Amanda, you're going to be... You've got quite the streak going here. You're going to start getting some new badges, I think, soon. What number are you on now? You're on 4? I think there's a new one at 6. I don't remember which one it is, but you're getting there. You're getting there. Now, hold on a second. What? What are these? What? Where'd the Pyre hearts come from? I didn't turn them on. Okay. Fate, player 1. There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, in fact, is it already new? Were you the Dissonance before? I don't know. You got the Dissonance Gilman combo going right now. But we have a request from Core, which is Savage with False Step, which is the combo that Core was using with the Bottled Void. Now, are either of these players going to opt to combine it with Bottled Void, perhaps? Or maybe they'll just try a more traditional SAP setup. We'll have to see. Again, that's...
Sorry, what was it?
Or Savage, I should say. Savage plus False Step, which is the one where if you jump and get banished when you land your jump, then you'll come back.
Okay.
I'm skill on the left side.
Alright, so I think that's going to be it for this one. Let's get it started.
And we just need one.
Yeah, just one with that, I think. Alright, I guess let me double check with Core. Is that just one of those Savages, or are we talking all 3 characters? Or 2, or whatever?
It's singular, so I'm assuming it's 1.
I'm assuming it's 1. Yeah, Core says just 1. Just 1 with that combo. It's on the boat, of course it's on the boat.
Yeah.
So this is a Savage. And it does have False Step. It's Prayer Beads, so that's what Baylor goes with. Why'd it have to be the boat? I mean, the bow does certainly add some chaos to the equation. It's just sometimes it can take away from other things if you have something particular in mind that you're trying to emphasize.
So, no requirements and talismans.
No, what talismans? Oh, no requirements, no. So you can take whatever you want. Ooh. Vengeful Vow on the Savage. Now, if I recall, Taylor, did I remember hearing you say once upon a time that that actually just flat out does not work?
We've seen that a couple of times. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's literally every single time, but I know that it has not worked before.
Well, it's worth a try.
SSE, putting it to the test here. I'll be a speedy Jody to compliments. Then a quick throwing Bertrude. And of course she's dangerous, because those throws are unblockable from the crones.
Bertrude.
SSE mulling over this last character here. Is a fan of Barker. Is a fan of Luminous Idol, though not necessarily sure it's Kerr plus Luminous Idol that we've seen SSE use in the past. Instead, opting for the quick throws, and yeah, we do sometimes see SSE go all left side rather than going to the additional 5 plunging damage. And there is the stowaway, triggering that false step. She's back here already. And did that technically count that time? It did. She's back once more. So SSE putting it to good use. Here is a stowaway once more, and it will trigger again. She's back. Just can't quite get rid of her, although Phaler has a portal set up and uses that to get Almer through and into the Pyre. Jody knocks back Bertrude and uses the additional jumping capability on the boat to nearly make it directly into the Pyre. Falls a little bit short though. Stowaway, power cast, just misses Almer, but has the orb here. Goes down, but that will trigger false step, so she's back. Almer down, Jody with the orb for SSE. Locked. Taylor with Bertrude. Gets rid of it, but goes down here. Jody grabs an opportunity here, plunges for 30 for SSE.
The accuser's pyre now burns brighter.
Palmer goes down. At the moment, just Barker, and now Barker gone, but he has that lucky break, so he comes back very quickly for SSE. Goes down once more. No lucky break this time, but the stowaway is back. Bertrude, remember, has the quick throw. Oh, that one is off target. Has it back, though. She gets rid of it just in time. Once again, perfectly timed passing there from Phaler sets up the score this time.
The fates are now favored to prevail.
And in doing so, retakes the lead. Jody just jumping straight up, and that time, straight up into the Pyre.
The fates' adversaries may as yet prevail.
Stowaway, gets close, but goes down. Now just Barker here. Defense not necessarily his strength, and there's nothing he can do about that throw. Fortunately for SSE, it falls a little bit short. Stowaway has that false step, though I don't think that's going to trigger there. Technically was not part of the jump in which she got banished. That throw, intercepted by Barker. For a second, that looked like that was going to go in. Barker, nearly has it, but good defensive play there from Phaler. Bertrude, and with this perfectly timed passing from Phaler, and with the throw as well, full 30 damage. One more score may be all that Phaler needs. Oh, and Phaler with the Crone Salute as the ace up his sleeve makes SSE unable to defend because those Howlers do not have any auras, and so Phaler finishes it.
Good game.
Okay, good game.
The fate prevailed. They brushed aside their adversaries without too much trouble.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
All right. Let's head on back.
Until the next Rite.
Spirited match on the boat is just what you need to shake off the rest.
All right, and chat, what would we like for the next one between these two? Oh, we've got you on distance. What? What? Accusers. Both orange-ish. Barely notice.
Any requests?
Not seeing any at the moment, so I think that may mean that we're just going in here with you guys taking whatever you want to take. I think that's what we're going to have. Barring any last minute suggestions here, but seeing none, let's get started.
The fate shall take on the accuser.
Okay, so Pit of Malith,
Welcome.
small arena. We'll see if that influences the teams these two opt to take. As for Phaler, leading off with a Prayer Beads Orlek, always a scary sight to behold. Does also take the additional starting Pyre life. And SSC thinking about going with a demon of his own, although in this case, Jody rather than Orlek, and of course there are some differences there. Jody being a more typical demon, whereas Orlek being that archdemon, so to speak. Although, well, hold on. More demons, by the looks of things, coming from Phaler, and again, the starting Pyre life, and that adds up quickly. SSE considering Manly here. Another slow, large aura character, so definitely some similarities between saps and demons. Thinking about the additional starting Pyre life. And 10 rekindling. Making for roughly the same as the starting Pyre life that Phaler has taken on his demons. And yeah, you know, when you saw him take 2 demons in the first 2 spots, you got the sense that maybe that was a sign he was going to go all out demons, and this locked in. Yes, that is going to be the case. And the last one for SSC is going to be a Prayer Beads Tamitha. Presumably, SSC's preferred score there. Here we go. That is Tamitha here, and she does get things started with the 20 damage plunge, and look at that. Like we said, both players taking a lot of Pyre life. So even with that score, Phaler's still at 185 here. Jody makes a move, but she goes down. Orlek banishing all but Manly here, and oh, he tries to set up a Brazen Manor. I didn't even notice. Did Phaler take it?
Might have been a mistake.
May have been. Here comes Tamitha. She actually banishes Jody there. Now she goes down to Iggy. Iggy with the power cast, he gets knocked back. But banished, opportunity here for SSC. Time to charge up a throw. Full 30 damage, and of course, keeps everyone in. So SSC still at full strength here. Banishes Orlek. Blocked by Iggy. And then Jody banishes Jody and has the Lanthorns. That brings back Orlek. He goes down quickly. Tamitha making moves here. Going to get that stamina back. Has it now. She gets blocked and banished. Oh, and look at that. Jody hiding just enough behind that barrier to avoid getting banished there. Knocks back a defender. For a second there, it looked like SSC might have had an opportunity to get that other 30 damage score off, but Phaler able to defend in time. Orlek down once more. Just Tamitha here. Now Jody back for SSE. Oh, and look at that. A little bit off target, but we'll give the 20 damage to Tamitha, no less. Jody versus Orlek. Jody wins out here and makes it in for 30 damage. SSE building some momentum. Orlek versus Tamitha. Orlek does what Jody just did before, knocking back defenders with the jump and plunging, this time for 25. Technically speaking, of course, that does mean if they are to trade scores here, Orlek only 25 damage on the plunges, whereas Jody 30. So that's an exchange that SSE will take. Obviously, Tamitha only 20, but here is more 25 coming from Orlek. Jody ends up with it here, but she gets blocked. Banishes one defender. Banishes two defenders, three defenders. Suddenly, Phaler defenseless. SSC. Oh, but the throw is short. Opportunity squandered. Orlek, he makes it in for 25. Jody goes down here and leaves it with Tamitha. Orlek down. Just mainly at the moment. Not really a sight SSC wants to see. Definitely not a preferred scoring character. Jody's back now, though. Now Tamitha. Jody against just Jody. She has the Lanthorn, and in banishing Jody, that brings back Orlek. But he goes down quickly. Orb hits Phaler's Pyre, so it bounces back out. And again, a banishment for Phaler from Jody brings back Orlek. So Phaler back at full strength here. Orlek on the offensive. Goes down here, though. Jody for SSC. Who can't get the knockback when landing from that jump, and so Phaler able to... Whoa! Block, but now triple banishment from SSC makes for an easy plunge here for 20, and remember, Tamitha does, I believe, have prayer beads. Yes, she does, so she's back. As now, falls to Orlek. To Jody to Orlek. SSC getting some characters back here. Jody banishes Orlek. She goes down. And again, that's Phaler's Jody with the banishment, bring back Orlek, but once again, everyone banished on Phaler's side. Opportunity here. 20 damage throw this time. Actually, didn't matter if SSC went for throw or the plunge, because that was prayer beads Tamitha, but either way, 20 damage. Jody, oh. For a second there, it looked like she had it. Falls a little bit short, though. Phaler with Orlek. Blocked and banished. Tamitha. She falls just short as well. But banishes almost all the remaining defenders, but Orlek comes back just in time for Phaler. He makes it in for 25. That means that Phaler can trigger that rekindling with a non-Orlek plunge or full damage throw. Remember, Orlek only has 25 maximum damage. Iggy down. Here is Orlek. So in some ways, not the character that Phaler would prefer to score with, unless he can be patient here. He does plunge with Orlek, just means now he needs one more before that will kindle, or will trigger the rekindling. Here is Orlek. Of course, far easier to score with him, with his increased mobility relative to the other demons. He's down here, and it's only Manly. Now Tamitha back for SSC. Just Jody back to defend, and that's not enough to stop Tamitha. So remember, although Phaler with the higher Pyre life at the moment, SSC does have, I believe it's 10 rekindling. So functionally, 2 scores before Phaler would be able to win this one, and depending on who it is on SSC's side who would be doing the scoring, maybe 2 as well. Jody banishes 1, but then goes down. SSC waiting on Manly to come back. He'll be first. Followed soon thereafter by Tamitha. Manly goes down, so now it's just Tamitha. quickly joined by Jody. Tamitha can't quite make it in, so now just Jody to defend. Oh, and she goes down with that exchange. Manly back. Can he stop Orlek? Yes, he can. Tamitha. Can't sneak past Iggy. Now Phaler back at full strength here. Not for long. Jody down. Orlek gets rid of SSC's Jody. Phaler's Orlek with the orb here. And blocked just as he's about to make it in there. It's a strong defensive play from SSC. Tamitha's cast misses the mark and she goes down. Jody goes down to Jody. And that brings back all of Phaler's demons here, including Orlek. It's blocked. Tamitha gets rid of the orb. Jody takes the orb. And moves down the side here, but can't get past Orlek. Tamitha gets rid of one demon. Make that two. Just Iggy remaining. He gets rid of Manly. But then Jody comes back and banishes him. Orlek has returned, though, as has Jody. Just Tamitha on SSC's side. Has the orb here. She's blocked. Still has it. Blocked and now banished. Now SSC on the defensive. Power cast. Doesn't have enough range to hit anyone that time. Jody for SSC against Iggy. Iggy able to defend, but then gets banished by Jody. Opportunity here for SSC. Fully charges the throw and gets that off. Lowering Phaler to 15, which means one score, regardless of the character, should be enough, assuming it's a full damage score, for SSC to do the job, whereas Phaler still needs 2 because of that rekindling. Jody knocks back all the defenders there. For a second, it looked like I might have given her enough of a window. Not quite, though. Here's Orlek. He goes down. Tamitha. Ooh, that power cast was quick. And double banishment there for Iggy. Opportunity for Phaler. Lunges, triggering that rekindling, and now we find ourselves in a one-score game. Sudden death, if you will. Next score, likely to take it. Jody for Phaler. She goes down. Opportunity for SSC. Doesn't matter how you score, as long as you score. But still time to fit in the taunt.
Good game.
Okay.
GG?
A victory so narrowly achieved, and thus more glorious.
It was very defensive. Especially with all the demons.
Is ended.
Well played. Right, let's head back.
Until the stars align.
Alright, and chat, let us know what, if anything, you'd like to see for the next one. Or has made a request for Crone. Just to clarify, 1 Crone. And the long-throwing talisman. Okay. The ranged Crone throws, and of course, Crone's one of the classes with unblockable throws, so that can be dangerous. We tend to see people use the quick throwing talisman on the Crones, although once upon a time, there was a little period in which we did see some people trying using the ranged throwing talisman on the Crones, and in some cases, it worked fairly well. But perhaps a bit of a lost art nowadays. The Kobe, right? Says Core. Alright, so a long-range throwing Crone. Anything else on top of that, or will that be all? Looks like that'll be it. So let's get started. I hear the imps. So it's the Isle of Kalamer.
Face the accusers. Welcome. Who shall conduct
And we'll see where they opt to put those crones, because it looks like Phaler is choosing to lead off with the long-range crone throws. SSC maybe thinking to do the same.
Where was it, sir?
It's, where is it? It's that row, and then that, right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, an SSC who thought about Crone Salute. Does go for it. Of course, turning everyone on the opposing team into a Howler. A defenseless Howler, at that. Although, the Imps do have their Salute that can allow them to transform between Howler and Imp. Phaler not opting to take it here, though. SSC in the second spot. Ooh, perhaps also looking at a throwing talisman here. This time going with the quick throws. Perhaps further emphasizing the quote-unquote Hobie right. Then Phaler going Dalbert with prayer beads in the last spot there. So presumably that gives him a plunger and, of course, prone in the first spot, being the long-range throwing character. And last one for SSE. Oh, and SSE is embracing the theme. Yes, going with another throwing talisman, this time the throwing damage. On Tizo. So here we go. And the Crones collide, and Phaler emerges victorious from that one. They have the range throws, but the throws don't charge up quite as quickly as perhaps our players might be used to seeing them charge up, given how this time they're not getting the quick throwing talisman. So that may take them a little bit to get used to that. Here is the throw. And of course, it can't be blocked. So as long as you do have time to get it off, there's little that you can do to stop it. SSE this time, the one that emerges with the orb, but he gets stopped. Raji gives up the orb. Oh, and that was an interesting exchange. 3 banishments there. Dalbert blocked. And blocked again. But the orb's still open for the taking. Dalbert does take it just before he gets banished, but it's SSC here, plunging for 15. Now remember, SSC did not take the additional 5 damage on plunging, to just 15, and took the quick throwing talisman on Parker. So plunging, not really what SSC is looking to do here. Basically, all characters for SSC are designed to throw. And at the moment, SSC defenseless, because of course that means no prayer beads. So we will not see Parker in this series. Oh, look at that! Ludmilda, perhaps accidentally, ends up going through that portal there. And that means no one back here for SSE to stop Vorfrit. May have the long-range throwing talisman, but at least this time, throw that one in from point blank. Looking to do so again. That one looked like it might have been a little bit off target. It was. So SSE able to sweep that one up. Here's Parker, but he runs out of stamina. So Phaler able to chase SSE down. Ludmilda has the range, can certainly get it in from there if it's on target, but it is a little bit wide. That throw, even if you fly, I'm afraid there is no stopping. Forfeit. Oh, SSC with the last second save. Parker, he goes down. Dalbert, he goes down as well. Tizo trying to make a move. Gives it up to Parker, but he's out of stamina, so he can't escape. Ludmilda, back in time, although she goes through the portal. That puts her close to Phaler's Pyre here, setting up this throw. The SSE has to cut it a little bit short, just 15. Make sure he has time to get it off. This time goes for the plunge. 25 damage here. So SSE with some quick scores there, but it is not enough. Phaler finishes it.
Good game.
GG. The ground in Isle of Kalamer is actually painted like a basketball court. Interesting. I don't know. I guess I didn't think of it that way.
Until the next rite.
I might swap out after this next game.
Okay. So one more for you then?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. In that case, chat, let us know what you want to see between SSE and Failure, because it sounds like this may be your last chance to set anything up. And also let it be known if anyone in chat wants to swap in. Sounds like SSE will be looking to switch out after this, so ready yourself. Get in on the action. Okay, iRotor says Will of the Scribes. Core says Fall of Solium. Dad is taking this very seriously. Very dramatic, right? By the looks of things. Anything else? We have the song, we have the arena. Will that be all? Oh, yeah, they're going all out. Sermon intro. And Core's Choosing Exiles. Oralek is banned, says Core. No Oraleks allowed.
I thought they were setting up a theme here, but apparently the opposite of that.
Yeah, I mean, Will described is technically Oralek's theme, is it not?
Yeah. That and the Fall of Solium kind of Oralek related.
Yeah. Looked like it was, gonna be a dramatic, conclusive rite. But, well, not all of those requests were coming from the same people, so chat may be crossing wires a little bit there. Or maybe just didn't want to see anyone cheesing things with an easy Oralek team composition win. Maybe that was the idea. Either way, it looks like we've got ourselves pried and ready to go for this one. So let's hop in.
Is that it else then? Just no Oralek?
Yeah, so that's the only thing for your actual setup, is no Oralek. You can take whatever talismans, whatever masteries, and the only character you cannot take is Oralek. Anything else is fair game.
The time is nigh, exiles. You heed the summons to the fall of Solium. Have you the fortitude required to prevail? Prevail and step closer to freedom. The fate, stand ready. Accusers, stand ready. Now let us begin.
Okay, so, like I said, take anything you want other than Oralek. Anything else is fair game. And Thaler leading off with one of his favorites, Fairbead Stalbert. May mean we're in for an all-fate setup here. Then SSE going with one of his favorites, and basically a mirror image here, going with Barker in the first spot with Prayer Beads. Same setup as well, from Mastery standpoint. And yes, Fate member number 2. That means Web Lanthorn Raji.
Exile.
Will SSE continue to do similar strategy here? No. Deviates a bit. Going with a quick Jody. Then Phaler. Oh no, not going with the full Fate setup. Usually you would have Ulmer here with Quick Throwing Talisman, but instead opts for Bertrude, so similar idea, still a throwing-oriented character, just not the one we might have been expecting. Then here is a signature SSC Moon. Luminous Idol on a harp means he gets full stamina whenever he picks up the orb. It's Dalbert, plunging quickly here for 20. Barker, he goes down. Jody on the prowl. Gonna stop Dalbert, although he sneaks in under the defender there. sneaky Gertrude. Eludes the defenders this time, but the throw is off target. Second time round. Does make it in, though.
The orb into the flame.
So Taylor off to a quick start here, and Dalbert hops over those casts.
End the ceremony.
Gertrude, she's the thrower, of course. That throw is caught? What? Looks like that was on target to make it in, and yet SSE able to intercept. Maybe it was gonna fall short? Dalbert makes it in for the win.
Good game.
Good game.
Was as though the
I messed
scribes
up, didn't I?
themselves stood by their side.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
you did what looks like it might have been impossible. I wrote her saying at the very end of the arc of the Crone throw, it theoretically can get intercepted, and that must have been, in that case, what SSC did there.
Yeah, I think it's just based on heights.
Yeah. It's just usually, when the Crone throws it, it's way up there. Only at the
Yeah.
very end is it low enough to actually intercept it. Yeah, if it's not on target, it may be interceptable as well. That's why I thought it might have been falling a little bit short. But I don't know, I didn't think it was initially. Based on the trajectory.
Yeah, it's weird.
At that point, the Pyre was already at 30 HP, I think, and the the hitbox grows smaller as the flame itself physically grows smaller. So maybe
Yeah.
it would have looked like it's on target, but still not have been.
Maybe. Amanda says it
Uh,
looked a little short.
Yeah, so I'll be heading off now.
All right, no worries. Well, thanks for stopping by, SSE. Good to see you again.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for being here.
no
We'll see you
problem.
around.
Probably see you.
Sounds good.
Goodbye.
All right. See you around. So chat, that means we're looking for someone else to swap in here for SSC. And Phaler, just to check in on you, are you good to stick around? You want to swap out as well? How are you feeling?
Good, yeah.
You're good? Okay. So yeah, in that case, we're looking for one to swap in here. Is there anyone in chat who has not yet played today who wants to get a chance to do so? We still got a few familiar faces who I don't think have yet gotten the chance to play today, right? Oh yeah, let's reset things. Amanda says, if there isn't anyone else, then I'd be down. Iroder says I could hop in. Yeah, definitely. Iroder, if you are interested and available, you have not yet played today, I say we definitely get you in here. Taylor versus Iroder, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, 1 second, Iroder. Let me get you an invite here. Okay, invite sent. And let me start setting you up. Withdrawn for you, I assume? Presumably not the accusers, but I don't know. Ah, I tabbed back in and hit the reset button, sorry.
And you mean?
Yep. There we go. Withdrawn for you today, Iroder, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. You might sound a little bit quiet. Not sure if that's coincidence.
It may depend on how far away I am.
There you go.
from my-
That sounds... Yeah, it may have just been you might have been far away from your microphone or something, but now you sound fine.
I don't want it to have it in front of my face. So I push it to the side and then
Yeah.
push it back, and then the distance may be off.
No worries. Okay. Anor is getting us started with the Dread design. That is fitting. Fitting for Iroder. Anything else? Looks like that may be all, and, you know, understandable. We'll give Iroder a chance to warm up a little bit here.
The fate versus
Okay, so Glade of Lou. And no specific requests here with regard to your team, so take whatever you'd like.
who shall conduct the rites?
Baylor, send up an exploding worm in the first spot.
Let me quickly replug my controller.
Ah, okay. Yeah, hopefully that's all we need to do. There we go. Assuming that's you, then that should be good. Alright, and Iroder gotten a very strong crone presence today, it seems. That pattern continues.
Exile.
Iroder going with the quick throws with Forfeit. And dare I say, I don't know if crones are necessarily the most common character here, because we've seen some all-demon rites. But there are very few rites in which we've seen people not take at least one crone. And Vids, another one of Iroder's go-to characters,
Demon.
has a Tailwind Crest for the extra quickness. And Phaler going with the Prayer Beads on Zoxiana here.
Exile.
And last one for Iroder will be Lendl, by the looks of things. Does have Shoulder Smash, which can work well, particularly against a harp, such as Zoxiana. So here we go. Also, Iroder's color scheme. Very good here. Very consistent. I like it. Here is Lendl. He has that Shoulder Smash. Oh, but Phaler knew it was coming and deliberately did not fly into the Pyre that time. A tricky game of cat and mouse.
No sign
Forfeit down here.
for now.
Lendl, first one to come back. Does he come quickly enough? Not quite.
To the pyre's flame.
And Phaler getting a 25 damage throw there.
The scribes are favoring
Gilman
infectious fire.
dives in this time for 15.
The orb flies.
Feels like imps have not been coming. Really? I don't know. I feel like they don't feature heavily when they are in the rites, because they tend to be more defensive characters, but usually, at least, they're quite common for that purpose. We have at least one in here. I don't know.
Another banishment. Unfortunate for the withdrawal.
Time here for Phaler to get throw off. Oh, but it's short. Slash wide. Forfeit. Unblockable throw. Gets in for 30 here. I don't know which one is the least common today. There's got to be something that we haven't seen much of yet. Look at those big power casts from Iroder. Coming up clutch here, but currently defenseless. Gets Forfeit back just in time. Here she is, but she goes down. As does Vids and Lendl, and they went down in quick succession, which means no one coming back soon. Plenty of time for Phaler here, and gets 25 damage on that throw. Zoxiana, ooh, can't charge up the cast quickly enough. Vids takes her out, and ooh, nearly knocks her back there, which could have set up a quick score there, but not quite. Oh, and look at that. Big banishment there from Raji. Sets up this score here. 15 damage throw for Phaler. And in doing so, Phaler retakes the lead. Vids knocks back defenders, but gets blocked just before she can make it in. She's still in, though. Oh, but jumps into Raji there, so she goes down. Close opportunity, but not quite. And now Phaler, speaking of opportunities. Oh, was that a last-minute prone salute, turning everyone on Phaler's side into howlers. Perhaps so.
Did that one throw it in?
And that means that, well, Iroder had to cut it a little bit short on that throw. Not the full 30 damage, but enough that one score from Vorfred would have done the trick after that. This Paleth, only one out here for Iroder, needs to be careful. She goes down, but then gets the reinforcements back, including Vorfred. Here she is, and she plunges for the win.
The withdrawal
Good game.
GG.
Right conducted with aplomb. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played.
Until the stars align.
I had
Alright.
some lag in that game. Was that the case for you as well, Fana?
Moments of it, but not too much.
Yeah, it was like punctual. Well, it wasn't too bad.
Okay. That's good. Nothing has changed on my side, so, well, I can't say that it's, I mean, short of me losing power, which that much is definitely on my side, but, anyways. Anything we would like to see, chat, for this next one? And if we're trying to think of exiles or classes that we have and have not seen much of, I think we've seen a lot of demons, as Cole was saying, a lot of harps. I don't know, I thought we've seen a decent amount of imps, although Core thinks maybe not. I think maybe nomads might be one of the ones we've seen the least of. Savages, we had some savage-related requests previously, so they're probably, you know, at least up there. Customize off. And Honora was thinking about doing the same thing as well.
Alright.
The fate.
Let's see what we end up with here. It's Nest of Triesta. It's Dalbert, Manly, and Tamitha for Phaler. And then it's Tamitha, Iggy, and Lendl for Iroder. Seemed like actually relatively well-balanced teams. Of course, hard to know until we see what talismans they have as to just how functional they may or may not be. We know that it appears as though Iroder got the additional starting Pyre life from Iggy. Tamitha here for Phaler. Blocked and banished. Okay, Winged Fury here for Tamitha on Iroder's side. Okay, and we do see that Iroder is able to bring back friends whenever they get banished by stepping on their portraits. That's, of course, coming from Lendl. Tamitha for Phaler. Of course, no one knows that they have prayer beads until they try plunging. That's a little bit of a risk. One that Iroder nearly took there. Dalbert does have the triple jump, so Phaler definitely happy to see that. Does not, however, have the extra 5 damage, which means that should be an all left side Dalbert for Phaler. Tamitha outmaneuvers, makes it in for 20 here. And no prayer beads for Phaler's Tamitha. We know that much. Dalbert, remember, has that triple jump. He uses that to get into the Pyre.
The accusers seem to be falling behind. Tis taken.
Many death to saplings. Driver there. Oh, and Black Heart from somebody we saw for a moment on Iroder's side. Taylor followed up with a quick plunge here with Dalbert. Iggy goes down. Comes back. Lendl does not have shoulder smash. Oh, and there is the black card. Okay, so it is what? Lendl who has it for Iroder. And Dying Flame. Okay, so that's what? The extra damage if you're behind on Tamitha for Iroder, which did trigger there, of course. Iggy able to get rid of Dalbert. Lendl. He goes down. Just Iggy back to defend, and no Tamitha here. And Lendl does come back, and as himself, not a Howler, which means he gets infinite stamina at least briefly. His jump not quite enough to make it into the Pyre from there, though. Dalbert worms his way around into the Pyre for 15. Iggy. Gets rid of one defender, but ends up in the sapling. Tamitha again has that extra damage. It will trigger here. So Iroder happy with that. Though maybe not as happy to see Tamitha not here for this series. Sphaler plunges here for 15. Tamitha goes down. Tamitha versus Lendl. Lendl wins this duel, but he ends up in the lava. Taylor setting up that sapling. A strange set of blocks there. Manly down. Tamitha, oh, does she have Vanishing Throws? She does, with Shooting Star. That's Phaler's Tamitha. Iroder blocked, falls into the lava, which is actually slightly better than getting banished to someone's orb because the recharge or respawn time is quicker. And that may have been a difference maker there because that means Iroder has time to plunge here with that character. And that means, technically speaking, slim lead here to Iroder, 1-score game for either player. Tamitha, but she makes it in for the deciding score.
Good game.
Perhaps a stroke of fortune ought to be thanked.
GG.
The rite is complete.
All right, let's head back.
Until the next rite.
Oh, and Anor said no one tried the salutes. There's a chance that Iroder's Tamitha might have had it. Already, though.
But I also haven't practiced with the salute at all, so it wouldn't have done me much good.
No worries. 4 already primed to go with an Exiles request here. Let's see what it will be. Okay. A class/race that you take must be represented by 2 characters. So basically, 2 of a given type. But that type is up to you. Anything else, chat? Or will that be all? Does not appear so. Let's get going. And the other one must be another class. Okay, so yeah, it's 2 of one class, and then the last character is some other class. You can't go triple.
Versus the withdrawn.
Oh, wow, we turned off customize. Hold on, we've got to turn it back on. 1 second. That's kind of important. There we go.
It would have been funny if no customers would have given us legal teams for this.
Yeah,
You
I
gave me a
honestly
legal team. I had 2 worms.
did it.
I was ready to play that if you got something.
Shall confront.
I think I actually different, but I didn't catch it.
Okay, also,
Welcome.
the class that is the singular character needs to go in the first spot. So it is basically the one individual class, and then in the second and third spots are going to be the same class.
Dalbert.
And Phaler did have a sap in the first spot and Worm in second and third, so yes, Phaler's team actually was compliant. That is pretty funny.
I looked at Iroder's team. I don't remember what he had, but it was 3 different ones, so it wouldn't have been in the spirit.
Okay. So Phaler will be taking 1 Cur, whereas Iroder will be taking 1 Crone. Now, whatever they take next, they're going to need 2 of. Phaler opting to go defensively with the Imps.
Exile.
In Iroder's case, looking like we may see the same. I mean, 1 Imp, certainly always a strong idea. Just because they're so good defensively. 2 Imps, maybe a little bit overkill, but perhaps that's a sacrifice you're willing to make. Does, of course, mean you can throw on Lanthorn on one of those Imps, but what do you put on the second one? That we shall have to see. Titan Tooth, certainly a strong option there. The anti-jumping slash throwing, although at least, or jumping slash flying, I should say, although may not be such a factor, at least for slowing down Iroder, because Iroder's more offensive character here is a Crone that I believe he set up for throwing. That may not be much of a setback for him to be stunned, whereas Phaler's Dalbert, definitely more of a jumper. Tizo, plenty of space here, but suddenly very lonely. Goes down. And we've milled it back just in time to stop Dalbert here, although second attempt, he makes it in for 20. Those 2 trade places. Dalbert's the one who makes it in for 20. And he has Prayer Bead, so he's coming back. Here is that throw. And it's on target. Like I said, that's why I think we're going to see a lot of that from my rotor, and therefore Titan Tooth maybe not so much a counter. Albert keeps at it here. Jamilda. That recovery time after you land on that jump from the Crones, it's tough. It's a long.
Messenger imp banished.
Here is Udmilda. Does block Dalbert this time. So he loops around for a second attempt and makes it in.
Now go on, just once more.
Udmilda, oh, gets the banishment with the trailing aura. Clever. Taylor has that portal and uses it and makes it in.
GG.
Good game.
The fate prevailed. What a crushing victory it was. The rite is complete.
All right, let's head back.
Until the stars align.
So chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see between these 2. Okay, we have something here. It's Nor with Exiles. Same request as Core, however, Talismans as well. Your first exile must have a legendary talisman. So again, that means one singular class in that first exile slot. That character has a legendary talisman, and then your second and third characters are from the same class as each other, but a different class from your first character. And the chastity theme. Okay. That would mean Grand Ceremony.
The fate shall take on the withdrawn. Welcome.
So, this first class will be the only member from this class that you use in the first spot. They will get a legendary talisman, which might affect who they opt to use here, because of course, not all legendary talismans are created equal. Goals Bracer, definitely a strong one. So that's the direction Phaler seems to be taking here with Snadra.
I wanted to take the same one. I'm thinking about if I want to do it.
I mean, it's fine to go the same route. There's nothing wrong with that. Also, I like how we randomly chose or we requested the Chastity theme, and we randomly ended up in the Chastity arena. Okay, it's going to be Haub's Wing. So, Imps in the first spot for Iroder. Notably, that means Iroder will not be able to take any Webbed Lanthorn Imps after that, because not allowed to take any additional Imps. So Phaler, perhaps, not taking any Imps at all, going with a Titan Tooth Rookie in this second spot here. Perhaps, in an attempt to use Titan Tooth more offensively, stunning the would-be defender and then following up with a score. Okay, so if we're going Headwind in the second spot here, that means we're going to see 2 Nomads coming from Iroder. Doesn't need to be Legendary Talisman, but then again, of course, Legendary Talisman for Nomads is quite good. That's probably in large part the reason why Phaler opted to do that in the first spot. So then we get the Prayer Beads Dalbert in the second spot here for Phaler. Familiar sight for him. And yes, means a second Nomad for Iroder here. And this time, of course, can't use Goals Bracer here, so instead opts for the Typhoon Bottle, meaning if everyone is banished, Phaler cannot sprint, throw, jump, or use any other special abilities. Tizo, elusive, but gets Titan Tooth, and then banished. Dalbert makes it in here for the first plunge. Tizo flies over that first cast, then makes it in for 25 damage here. As the Legendary Talisman, so he had infinite stamina, but definitely is not coming back for this one. Whereas Dalbert will, because he has the Prayer Beads. Of course, Arena will continue to grow smaller here. Oh, double banishment on the power cast there from Snadra. Headwind down. Snadra out for blood. She goes down. Dalbert has just enough to make it in on that triple jump. Tizo, again, hopping over those casts from Snadra and actually takes her out. Then gets blocked and banished. Does set up a decent portal for Iroder here, but Phaler coming in with 2 attackers, and it's Dalbert who he opts to score with. Likely the preferred score, what with him being the one who comes back after doing the scoring. Talk about dangerous portals. There is Dalbert, or rather, Rookie, finishing things off.
GG.
They overwhelm their adversaries utterly. The rite is ended.
Alright, well played. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Okay, so chat, let us know what, if anything, you'd like to see next. And just to check in on both our players here, Phaler, Iroder, how we feeling? We good to stick around? Either you want to swap out?
I'm good for a few more.
Okay.
Yeah,
Iroder?
likewise.
Likewise? Okay. In that case, we are definitely talking Phaler versus Iroder for this next Rite or 2 or 3. But do we have anything in mind for that? Well, it would seem not. In which case, we'll get started here. And we will have these two take whatever they want to take.
The fate shall now face the withdrawn. Welcome.
What's up,
No
Aruna?
requests.
Welcome back. No request for this one. Just take whatever you want.
The rights.
So Phaler leading off with a Prayer Bead Stalbert, one of his go-tos. Whereas Iroder, leading off with Raji with the Lanthorn. Does set up the Infinite Stamina portal. That is something that Iroder likes to do. May mean we'll see a demon here as the person who Iroder looks to send through that portal. That's an exploding rookie there. That's not something we tend to see from Phaler. And yes, I think his Paleth likely to be just that person, the one to go through those portals. Also has the Quick Throwing Talisman and Banishing Throws, so a meta demon, so to speak. And Phaler going all out Kerr here. This time it'll be Titan Tooth on Barker, stunning anyone that he jumps into. So definitely a very aggressive offensive team here from Phaler. And
Back in the old days, this was the meta. We're bringing back 2018 here.
Nice. These talismans as well, Phaler?
No, different ones.
Different ones,
still
but
similar.
okay, gotcha. There is Iroder plunging with Palmus, the power of the nutrition stick. I think fair to say that was probably not the meta back in the day. His Paleth cannot escape the curves this time. Phaler plunging for 20 here. So technically would have preferred to have done so with Dalbert, because he's the only one who would have come back after a plunge. So Phaler down one Kerr here. And Iroder once again able to plunge with Palmus. And that's 25 damage compared to the 20 damage that Phaler is doing with these Kerr plunges. That's, in that sense, an exchange that Iroder is willing to make. Pacing forward with his Paleth, although Phaler sees it coming. Although, here is Iroder banishing everyone. Plenty of time to charge up a throw.
Fire's wane.
Raji ends up with it here, gives it back to Vids Paleth, who can banish with the throws and does just that. Has a portal to go through, will give her infinite stamina. Iroder thinking about that. When Phaler sees it coming, make sure to banish her as soon as she goes through that portal. Now that portal not nearly as well placed as it once was. But Palmus may not need it. He gets a throw off, and although it's just 11 damage, that is significant. Because that does mean that if Vids Paleth is to make it in, that is enough to finish it in one go. But Phaler plunging here for another 20, with his preferred scorer Dalbert, and follows up with Barker this time. Those Kerrs, if they can do one thing, it is certainly score quickly. So Phaler is certainly not out of this one yet. Here's Palmus, though, trying to line up that blink to the Pyre, and it's just a little bit off target. Nearly had it. His left with that infinite stamina after going through the portal, chases down the would-be attacker, but then goes down. Now it's Raji benefiting from his own portal. And Palmus plunges for the win.
It's not very good in the modern era.
Their pyre burns whilst
think it's
the
fun
fat
to
of
play,
their
though.
adversaries is but ash.
But yes.
The ceremony is complete.
Well played. Yeah, I mean, I remember
Until the
right
stars
around when I first joined the Rite Club, there was Triple Cur was popular. And the other thing that was popular was the meta Orlek setup with, I don't know if people had already figured out the Webbed Lanthorn, Tizo, and Exploding Worm as well, but certainly something setting up the frequent Orlek plunges.
Was the Rite Club founded 2018?
Yeah.
Okay. It's good it's still going after 2 years. So, 3 years now, right? About 3 years?
Yeah, I guess
Pretty
so.
late in 2018. It was like December or something. So near on 3
2.5.
years. Yeah.
Okay.
And let's make it 3.
We'll round up. Alright, chat. Anything we want to see for this next one between these two? Core says yeah. Going with the Exiles request, okay. Players pick each other's Exiles. That's another one that once upon a time was fairly common, but it's been a long time since we last saw it. And he says only Exiles. Okay, so clarifying question then, Core. So does that mean order of operations wise, let's say, so Phaler's player 1, so that means Iroder is picking Phaler's first character. Does Iroder pick Phaler's character and then Phaler gets to pick the talisman and masteries, or does Phaler need to commit to a talisman before he knows what character he's getting?
Only Exiles, I think, means the person picks only the Exiles of the other person. And
Yeah.
then that first person gets to pick whatever.
It's just a question of, do you know your exile before you pick a talisman, or do you pick your talisman before you get that exile? In which case, you're blindly picking a talisman before your opponent gives you the exile.
That doesn't sound very fun, but alright.
It's more chaotic.
Especially since the masteries are only going to come afterwards. So why there's one part of the kit before and the other part after?
And it restricts legendary talismans, because you don't know what.
That's true. You
Oh.
could force your opponent's hand by choosing a legendary talisman, I suppose. I mean, it's a question we used to ask when we did get this request more often. So I'm just bringing it back. 4 says originally it was going to be you pick the talisman after, but before works too. We'll go after? Okay. After it is, in that case. So, let's do it then. That means your opponent picks your exile, and then you get to pick your talisman. So yeah, you know everything you need to know when you're picking the talisman.
The fate
Sounds like Isle of Caliber.
confront the withdrawn.
So that means Iroder is picking here for Phaler.
Who shall conduct the rites?
And that is the first step. So Iroder,
Right.
what would you like Phaler to have in the first spot?
I don't think I can do it, because I cannot pick anything.
Okay, no worries. I mean, you can just say.
It's Sandra.
Sandra? I mean, Snadra? So that means Phaler gets to pick the talisman and masteries and does choose to go with the
Alright, you're
legendary
going with
talisman.
Hedwin.
Okay. So Nomad versus Nomad. And Iroder, we'll see if he opts to do the same thing. Yes, does go with Goldsbracer as well.
Hedwin.
So a stalemate for that one.
You're going with Happen as well.
Hedwin. Double Nomad. I corrected myself, Arumi. You heard nothing. You heard nothing. This may turn into a Battle of the Nomads. We'll have
Alright,
to
you're
see.
going with Lendl.
Oh man, it's starting to look like it. So we saw Phaler go with the Lanthorn, but it is, in Iroder's case, the Typhoon
Yeah,
Bottle.
no price for guessing Daniel as well.
Lendl as well. Oh man. At least on Phaler's side, it'll be all Nomads. Goes Prayer Beads on Lendl.
Alright, you're also going Sandra.
What? There is no character in this game with that name. I believe you might be mistaken. Taylor said Sandra, and I believe you're currently looking at Snadra. There must be a mistake. Also Prayer Beads on the last Nomad. So here we go, it is in fact a Battle of the Nomads. So prepare yourself for some pretty huge casts. And for a lot of people to step on the portraits of their friends to bring them back after they get power casted into oblivion. So in theory, Lendl is Phaler's preferred scorer, but we might see a lot of shoulder smashing as well. Here comes Snadra. Just waiting to get a little bit of that stamina back, but can't get it in time. Lendl, speaking of coming back in time to intercept here, brings back a friend as well. It's Hedwyn. Over to Snadra. The Imps creating a protective wall here for Iroder, but not long enough to protect either of those exiles, and so now Iroder defenseless. Snadra back in half a second here. And Iroder did take the Typhoon Bottle, but it was not enough to slow Phaler down that time. Phaler's still able to plunge for 20. Lendl to Hedwyn. Back to Lendl. He goes down. Snadra with the stylish backflip banishment. Big power cast gets rid of one. Snadra banishes Hedwyn. Then Lendl goes bye-bye. Then Lendl comes back. And Snadra plunges for 20 and has 10 rekindling. Or rather, not rekindling, but leeching, I should say. So that means that Iroder's actually taken the lead here. Here's Hedwyn. Lendl, who's it going to be? Well, not Lendl. He gets shoulder smash, but he's back. Or was it actually the defender that got shoulder smash? Snadra gets rid of Lendl. Gets the orb back. Now has Hedwyn, well, not for long. A lot of people getting revived only to immediately thereafter get banished, and that includes all of Iroder's characters there for a second. Looked like the Imp was maybe going to prevent Phaler from plunging there, although does find the angle to make the 20 damage score there. Lendl down. Hedwyn brings back a friend, but then goes down. Lendl gets shoulder smash and may have also simultaneously shoulder smash the defender. Thought it was usually just one that happens at a time. Hedwyn over to Snadra. Who's it gonna be? Well, not Snadra, because again, the shoulder smash.
Now then.
Lendl down. Lendl getting some friends back now for Iroder. Iroder gets rid of one via power cast and goes down. Brings two back, although had to abandon his defensive position to do so. And Phaler seizes that opportunity to plunge for 20 and also leech back 10. So again, that leeching is big because that is one of the key differences. Of course, all the Nomads are by default only dealing 20 damage, and so It's one way to distinguish your scores from the scores of your opponent, and Phaler does so here as well. Again, plunging for 20 and leeching back 10, and that means Phaler back up to 100 Pyre life. Shoulder smash, gets rid of Headwind. Headwind. Shoulder smash. Snadra may be affected by the Typhoon Bottle, but that's not enough to slow her down. Still scores for 20 here, and that means, as of right now, one score would do it for Phaler, assuming it's a full damage score. But of course, as we were talking about previously, there is some potential for a leech, and this might be just that opportunity. Oh, but look at that. That was a huge opportunity there, but Iroder cut the throw a little bit short, only 10 damage, and therefore only leached 5. Snadra. Headwind back to help defend against Lendl here. Gets Shoulder Smash. Power Cast gets rid of many of Iroder's characters. Ooh, Typhoon Bottle triggers. Phaler far away from the Pyre, but will Iroder get someone back early enough? Yes. Lendl, oh, and Headwind down. Again, Typhoon Bottle will be active, but a long time until Iroder gets anyone back here. Phaler finishes it.
GG.
Good game.
The fate prevailed. They vastly outperformed their adversaries. The right is done.
GG. An impromptu all-nomad face-off,
Until the next.
with the players choosing their opponent's exiles. Alright, so, what would we like to see for our next one?
This will be my last one. I
Okay.
must leave for things.
Phaler is calling it after this one. So Core has an exiles request. It's the same thing. Choosing your opponent's exiles. Except you have to commit to the talisman beforehand. And Rumi says he can swap in for Phaler once he's done. Awesome. So, choosing the talisman preemptively, we'll see how that might affect things. Anything else on top of that? I mean, that does cover a lot of stuff. Nest of Trieste as well? Okay. And Skydance as well.
So what was the request again?
So, it's the same thing in that you are going to be choosing Phaler's exiles. Phaler will be choosing your exiles. However, before your opponent chooses an exile, you have to say what talisman you're going to use on that character. So, first thing here is Phaler commits to a talisman, and then Iroder chooses the exile.
Goals Bracer.
And Phaler chooses the legendary talisman.
I have no problem with actually giving you the nomad, but I'm not sure if that's in the spirit of the...
Of course, it's a wait. Hold
Nor
on a second.
appreciates it.
Oh, but if he chooses anyone other than a nomad, then he just can't use Gold's Bracer.
man.
Perhaps a way to work around Phaler's attempt there. So it depends. How devious is Iroder feeling? Is Iroder
Alright, fine, I'll
use-
swap it. I'll just go prayer beads. There you go.
would have given you the nomad, I will still give you the nomad, so you can go Sandra.
Snadra. Yeah, so Phaler changes over into Prayer Beads. You know, it was before the pick, so I suppose we'll allow it. So now Rotor picks the
Titan
Talisman. Titan Tooth, is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Titan Tooth for Rotor.
Let's see. Go with Shay.
Alright, the Stowaway. Yeah, that's a little bit of a tough one with the Titan Tooth. Maybe a more jumping-oriented Savage in this case, and to a certain extent that might be what we see from Rotor there. Using the Savage Salute to teleport to the orb, and I think did not take the additional throwing capabilities. So now,
Alright, I'll go
Phaler's
with,
Talisman.
I'll go with Webbed Lanthorn.
Lanthorn, okay.
Take Barker.
Barker. Barker on the Lanthorn. That's a tough one. Now Rotor's Talisman.
Star Splitter.
Star Splinter. Okay. This is a tough
Sir
one.
Gilman.
Gilman on Star Splinter. Character that already has the fastest throw in the game. Additional speed and maybe not providing so much value.
Sir Gilman.
Last one for Phaler.
We'll go Star Splinter.
Okay, Star Splinter for Phaler. It does seem as though, for the most part, these two have tried to choose exiles that do not synergize with the talisman, so they are perhaps understandably, you know, taking a bit of a competitive approach to it. Old Fred. And we saw, who was it, SSC doing this earlier today? It's possible, but it is
I mean, partly I
different.
just want to see what Vader does with it. I'm not purposely trying to pick the worst team possible. What do I want as that?
So you have a Titan Tooth Stowaway, you have a Star Splinter Gilman,
Tailwind Crest.
and with Crest, the speed.
Go with Headwind.
Alright, a speedy Headwind. Okay, and here we go once again. The players choosing each other's exiles. However, they had to commit to a talisman first, and therefore we saw their opponents picking, well, characters that did not really work so well with those talismans. Some sabotage in play here. Look at that. There's the quick throwing sap for you. Stowaway teleports to the orb. She has Titan Tooth, so it stuns the defender there. So that does work for Rotor. Not quite quick enough, though, to make a score out of that. That's what Barker does here.
Tay did it.
Stowaway plunging for 20 this time.
I almost pity what transpired there.
Bullfred. Barker. He gets shoulder smashed. Gilman. And get past Snadra. Barker follows up with the banishment. Barker trying to save at least a little bit of stamina for the hops, but he goes down. Speedy Headwind. To Gilman. Finds an angle. Plunging for 15 here. Stowaway teleports. Goes down to Barker. Barker makes it in for 20 here. Stowaway teleports again. And is outrunning that sapling placement and makes it in for 20 here. Gilman, oh, just barely ends up in the lava there. And Barker runs around Headwind. May have been speedy, but he was not speedy enough to stop him. Stowaway. Once again, Titan Tooth's failure. Does Iroder have time to capitalize on that opportunity? No. Snadra, big banishment there. Against Headwind. Snadra. Goes down. Iroder waiting for the orb to come back. Oh, but into lava with you. Gilman starts making a move. The throw is quicker. And double banishment there from Gilman. Here is that lightning quick throw.
Gilman flung the orb into the flame.
Stowaway teleports. At this rate, Failure can make it work with 1 score, because Iroder needs at least 2. And if Failure had any rekindling, which I don't recall whether he did, he may need more than that. There's a plunge from Gilman, which does get Failure within striking range here. Rather, 1 score would finish it, potentially, barring any rekindling. Headwind. He goes down. And Iroder, ooh, gets a stowaway back, but not quickly enough. Taylor finishes it.
Good games.
GG.
Did you have had 10 rekindling, right?
I had 50. I always go with the full 50. None of the sap abilities are as good as 50 rekindling.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Though depending on the playstyle, I think the faster sapling may be required, but depending on what you want to do. I usually go for 50.
Yeah. Alright, GG's. I will head out. Good nights to you.
Thanks for stopping by, Failure. Alright. And I wrote her to check in on you. How are you doing? You want to stick around? You want to swap out? How are you feeling?
If anyone else wants to play, I can swap out, but I can also stay.
Okay, so I know Arumi wanted to get in. So let's get Arumi in for Failure here. And if anyone else wants to get in, then we can potentially swap you out for Iroder. Otherwise, Iroder says I can stick around if needed. So, let me get an invite out to Arumi here. Alright, invite sent. Start setting you up as well. Arumi, who would you like to be today? The Essence? Essence today? Okay. There we go. Nor is that? Who is that directed at? Only if I don't mind? What? Of course I don't mind. What? Of course. Why would I? Oh, and I wrote it. I see.
We can switch to another Rumi now, or if your Rumi wants to play a match against me, can also do that. I don't mind either way.
Alright, Nor, how are you doing? Are you ready to swap in now? Do you need a minute? In which case we can do a match between Arumi and Iroder first. What works best for you? Sounds like Iroder can go either way. I can swap in now, but...
I don't mind. We can swap. Okay. Let's just do one more match and then we'll swap.
Alright, that way we get a a different matchup, at least. You know, we get to see Iroder against a couple, or rather, Arumi against a couple of people. Okay, so in that case, we should be good stream-wise. We got Arumi in here, so chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see in this one Rite between Arumi and Iroder. Want to see something happen? Gotta make it happen now. No, Arumi, no worries. We're just figuring out who we might want to have as our second player, but we're gonna have you go against Iroder here, and then we're gonna swap in Anor. That way he gets to play against two people. Okay, but I don't think I'm seeing any requests here, which is fine, and
wait.
perhaps... Oh, hold on.
I don't have a request, but am I still player 2 because Irumi came after? Or...
Good question. Let me see. In theory, on remote play, it may tell me. In theory, remote play says that Irumi is player 1 and you are player 2, Iroder.
Okay, then that's probably correct.
We'll see if it's true. Yeah.
Status play. There's like a 50-50 chance it's correct. We played a bit. We played once, like when you have testing stuff, and I think we played twice on Rite Nite. Not quite sure, something like that.
Well, either way, good to get the chance to get you guys to play each other. Not seeing any requests from chat here, so why don't we just hop in here? And it also gives Arumi a little bit of a chance to warm up here. First Rite of the night for it.
The essence versus the withdrawn. Welcome.
Okay.
Who shall conduct?
It's no requests, Arumi. That means you can take whatever you want. And it looks like this is, hopefully, Arumi. So we hopefully do, knock on wood, have the right people listed as player 1 and player 2. So Arumi goes with a Prayer Beads Bertrude. Arumi, a fan of those plunging crones. Whereas Iroder, going for a Webbed Lanthorn Raji in the first spot.
Exile.
Then it's Snadra, Gold Spracer. It's a defensive character in the second spot for Arumi. Then Vizpaleth. Meta Demon setup.
Demon.
And looking like it'll be a Titan to Pamitha, stunning anyone that Pamitha flies into. In the last spot there for Arumi. And Nutrition Stick for Palmas. All right sides, so that means full rekindling. And here we go. Big banishments to start off. That sets up Vizpaleth through the portal, though, for Infinite Stamina. Oh, but she misses the mark there. Bertrude can't quite make it in there. Big power cast of Snadra banishes one, but then it flies back in her face and banishes herself. Vizpaleth. And banish on the throw. Looks like she was going to do just that, but Arumi eluded it. Bertrude goes down. Raji down. Ametha down. Almost down. Snadra down as well. Ametha's back, as is Vizpaleth. Vizpaleth gets stopped, even with that infinite stamina. Bertrude down. Snadra's back. Oh, and double banishments as Vizpaleth was going through the portal. Snadra blocked and fell into that sapling, so she goes down here. that throw does make it in.
Pyre is the first
14
to
damage here. Rotor cutting it a little bit short just to make sure he had time to get it off. And Vids left. Arumi knew she was coming through the portal. Gertrude makes it in. 30 damage plunge, and Arumi took prayer beads on her. Intention is for her to be the plunging character. Vids left through the portal that time for banishment purposes and gets rid of everybody. Orb hits the fire, bounces back out, and that may have been just what Arumi needed to buy a little more time. Pamitha's back, and she can banish. Zadra. Gertrude. She goes down. Raji. Vids through the portal, Infinite Samna. Banishing throw actually does not banish Pamitha. Looked like she was in the line of fire there. Once again, Gertrude plunging here for 30. Pamitha down. And Gertrude down as well. That means no one back to defend against Vids. That makes for an easy 30 damage throw here. Gertrude, she gets cornered. Pamitha goes down. Vids. Against Snadra. Oh, quick throw enough to banish her. Gertrude circles around and does just enough to banish. Same there, although, of course, in the process, Raji explodes. Pamitha. Oh, no.
exactly by the book.
Gertrude goes down. Raji. Snadra takes her out. Snadra blocked. At the moment, defenseless is Arumi. The Gertrude back just in time. Gertrude down. Raji explodes as he gets taken out. His Paleth. 30 damage throw once more. And with that, Rotor takes the lead, I do believe. Oh no, close. Arumi actually still holding on to a slim lead here, and Arumi capable of finishing this in the next one. Unless, of course, we see Rotor's Rekindling, which I do believe he has, a full 50 at that. So second life bar revealed. But the second life bar dwindles. Back down to 20 means one score from Pamitha or Snadra, but more likely Pamitha, would do the trick. Is Paleth capable of finishing things in one go for Rotor? That would be the only one capable of doing so. Here is Vids. Infinite Stamina makes her dangerous, and the throw is on target for the win.
Spacing was awful, but
I thought for
wasn't
certain they would not.
GG.
The rite is done.
then I'll swap in for Nona.
All right.
I'll swap out, right?
Until the stars align.
Fell Swoop felt like it wasn't triggering? I don't know. Yeah. First question, did you take it? If not, then there's your answer. I don't know. Alright. Let me get a Nor in here. Alright, invite sent to you, Nor, and let me set you up on stream as well. Presumably, you will be player 2. Though, of course, Pyre / remote play might have something to say about that. And Nightwings for you, Nor? That too, occasionally remote play does kind of just eat your inputs. Okay. Got you set up on stream. Got you set up in game. So got you on mouse keyboard here. That's good. Let's just double check. Does this look right to you, Anor? And in the meantime, chat, let us know if there's anything you want to see between Anor and Arumi. it does, but Steam Remote Play doesn't like you. Hold on. Hold on, Remote Play. Be nice. What have you done? You done remote... Oh. What? Yeah, Remote Play did... Okay, I mean, should be fixed now. Not sure why Remote Play wasn't letting you use mouse keyboard there, because... Could've, but... Better now? There we go. Okay, great. Perfect. Yeah, so chat, anything we want to see between these two, or do we want to give Anor a bit of a chance to warm up first? Well, seeing no requests, why don't we do that then? We'll go request list here. Give you two the chance to take whatever you want to take. Until what time does Rite Nite usually last? That is a bit of a loaded question. I mean, once upon a time, we would typically finish or be looking to do the Liberation Rite in and around 9 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Nowadays, it tends to be closer to 8, but it's also just kind of reading the room a little bit and seeing how many people do we have who have not yet gotten the chance to play. You know, has everyone who wants to play already played and, you know, is no longer interested in continuing? So, you know, it's not necessarily a firm answer. It kind of depends on people's interest and availability. There is, I can tell you, one thing I can tell you definitively, there is no set time. I mean, it's usually these days around 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Daylight Time. It's probably about right. But by no means is that set in stone. Kind of want to do something, but don't know if you'll miss the Liberation Rite. Let's see. I mean, I guess I don't know how long that thing that you're planning on doing might be. But if you think it's only like 20 minutes, half an hour, you're probably safe. Any longer than that, I'd say, maybe not. But anyways, we have Jody, the Stowaway, and now perhaps Lendl for Rumi. No? Looking at Almer now. And prayer beads for him, selecting more of a plunging rather than throwing savage in that case. Then Anor with Tizo, Volfred, and now Headwind with the Goals Racer for the big power cast. So here we go. Stowaway down. Here is Volfred. He goes down as well, though. Almer. He gets shoulder smashed. Headwind through a portal, and he makes it in. For 20 damage plunge here. He's gone for this series. Stowaway. Over to the other side. And a quick throw. 18 damage, not quite the full 20. Volfred. Oh, he goes down here. So does the Stowaway, though. Almer. Takes out Volfred. Takes the orb. Tiso through a portal that banishes everybody. Jody now back. Eyeing that portal is Arumi. Volfred. Hard to catch when he has that nutrition stick. Oh, and then Anor goes through that portal to banish. Stowaway. Throws this one in for 20.
falling behind.
When Wolfred down here with the cast. And Tizo banishes everybody, and Anor with some time here. Wolfred and throw has that luxury.
The orb has hit the
And
mark.
does just that. Full 25 damage.
The essence seemed to be falling behind.
Wolfred, not this time. Stowaway. Oh, can't avoid that big power cast from Headwind. And well-placed sapling there from Wolfred. Prevents Rumi from taking the orb, and then the nutrition stick plunge. Jody, Palmer. Palmer makes it in, and remember, he does have prayer beads, so that is the savage that Arumi is fine with plunging with. Wolfred, and yes, that is certainly plunging range. That drops Arumi down to 5.
Fight has nearly ended.
Stowaway, quick throw here. So Arumi not going down without a fight. Wolfred, oh, that was awfully close. Palmer gets shoulder smashed. Izo takes out Jody, but Jody comes back quickly. Arumi back to full strength here. Nor setting things up on her end, placing the sapling, getting rid of the orb, and going through the portal, banishing Jody and setting up perhaps an easier route to the Pyre for someone like Wolfred. Here is Wolfred with the Pyre. Or Headwind, for that matter. Oh, he shoulder smashes the defender.
The orb is taken.
Stowaway. Big throw.
Threw it in.
Makes it in, and suddenly Anor, hanging on with 2 Pyre life, of course, does have Wolfred, and therefore likely does have some rekindling. That means, even with the low Pyre life, probably still going to take Arumi 2 scores if he is to win this one, whereas Anor should only need 1. Dangerous portal positioning for Anor. Arumi seems to have it covered. He rushes down Wolfred before he can get that throw off. That was key. Palmer goes for the jump, but he gets shoulder smashed. Headwind. Now Wolfred. Making moves. Oh, and that was about as close as it gets. Stowaway. Blocked. Now banished. So still in a dangerous position, and he explodes. Large enough explosion to take out Jody, but she's back. Headwind shoulder smashes the defender, but then goes down to Jody. Jody. Do the stowaway. Stowaway just needs a throw, but Anor in position to intercept. Goes through the portal, but the portal doesn't take her far. Stowaway, all banished on the Pyre's doorstep while charging up the throw. Headwind, Tizo. Tizo back to Wolfred. Tizo still there. Now goes down. That sets up a dangerous portal position. Here is Wolfred moving in. He goes down.
Call there now.
Stowaway. He's the thrower. She gets intercepted. That's Anor going through the portal. But still banished. Oh, look at that portal, though. It's right next to the Pyre. For intercepted. Here is Wolfred next to the Pyre, and he plunges for the win.
The Night Wings prevail. Although their adversaries put up quite an
GG.
effort.
Great game.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
All right. Let's head on back.
Until the next Rite.
What's up, Cam? How's it going? Alright, anything we'd like to see between Arumi and Anor here? No worries. Catch you later, I wrote her. And do we have anything for this next right, chat? Or are we thinking we're just gonna have them take whatever they want to take? Doesn't look like we have any requests, so why don't we just hop on in? I hear the imps. That's another Isle of Kalimdor. We've seen a lot of it today.
The Night Wings. Welcome.
Uh-oh.
Who shall conduct?
Rumi says, in honor of Cam, it's now flip-flap time. I disapprove. What? Anor? You too? Say it ain't so. Right, at least the second character is a worm from Arumi. And the second character for Anor will be a leeching Jody.
Jodariel.
Then Tizo. Oh, hold on, checking the scan report. Maybe not. Titan Tooth.
Tizo.
And last one for Anor. Of course, Bolfred with his daily vitamin supplements. Let's go.
Now then, now begin.
No
The
comment?
Essence are the first to strike their adversary's flame.
The other Pamitha. Oh, and then uses the Harp Salute to switch places with Jody, setting up the big 30 damage plunge plus 15 leech.
Seems the Night
Amanda
Wings
would
are
be
about
proud.
to hit.
Justice is served.
Now there's a proper
No comment.
The essence are now favored to
Once again, the Harp Salute to switch places with Jody, but this time Jody goes down. Amitha. Blocked. And banished.
pity what transpired there.
Jody can't avoid. Whoa! Double banishment there for Tizo as he gets moved around.
Glory to the scribes.
Oh, plunging for another 20 here. And the imps forming a bit of a wall around the orb right now. See who can get to it first. Would have been Arumi, but Anor banishes, and now it's Arumi once more. But gets blocked here. Bolfred able to banish. Now Pamitha. Jody, oh, sets up a Brazen Manor. Swaps to Jody. Anor, oh, just wanted to get into the Pyre, and that would have been a whopping 40 damage with 20 leech.
All banished.
Everyone banished now on Arumi's side, however, just Bolfred, so Anor unable to do that combo.
Was but a little
Settles for a 6 damage throw from Bolfred. Jody, crashing through, banishes too. Amitha switches places with Bolfred. He charges up the throw,
glancing blow.
and that's in for 10.
Into the adversary's
Once again, Anor getting the orb with Pamitha, swapping over to Jody, but Jody goes down. Here's Arumi's Pamitha. Gets blocked, but on the second attempt, makes it in. And that does drop Anor to 20 here, which normally would mean one score could do it. However, with Bolfred, I do imagine Anor has a little bit of rekindling here. I think we tend to see her take 10. And the harp push attempt from Pamitha, not quite enough to make it in for Arumi. Jody goes with Brazen Manor, trying to set up the switch with the harp salute, but Pamitha goes down, so not this time. Jody gets rid of the other Pamitha. Here is Pamitha for Anor. Oh, and does the switch just as the banishment happens, so it's actually Jody that goes down, not Pamitha. And here is the rekindling, so it is 10. So that means that now one score would do it for Rumi. Wolfred places the sapling, but that's not enough to stop Gilman here. So Pamitha can do that. Bring around the Rosie. Pamitha wins that duel. Jody, there's the Brazen Manor. So we know the combo that Anor is looking to do, but Pamitha stopped before Anor can pull it off. Jody. Brazen Manor once more. Pamitha down. Wolfred back to defend. Does so successfully. As does Jody. Jody, Brazen Manor, set up. Oh, and there is the switch, but just as it happens, again, banished. That is one of the problems with it is, although it is a very powerful combo, it does take a lot of steps to set it up, and therefore take a lot of time. Jody down. Gilman down. Pamitha eludes the other Pamitha, switches places with Wolfred, but he goes down. Just Jody back for Anor. She takes out Pamitha. Gilman takes her out. Wolfred only one back here. Now Pamitha as well for Anor. Bro is unblockable, but it's a little bit short here. Pamitha waits to make her move, then switches places with Jody. Oh, but just still a little bit short. Anor, I believe, did pull off the combo once at the beginning. Don't think she managed to squeeze in the Brazen Manor. That's the dream. The throw. The throw makes it in, and it's 7 damage. Anor hanging on by 3. Does pull off the switch, so that's Jody, not Pamitha, who goes down, and Rumi finishes it.
The essence prevail.
GG.
Such a well-conducted victory it was. The rite is ended.
Alright. Let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
Get a 7 damage throw. You never know. Sometimes it's the difference. Alright, so chat, let us know if there's anything that you would like to see for this next one. Or is turned on Titan Stars. Now, is this actual Titan Stars or is this something else? Is this one of these pseudo Titan Stars requests? Customize, okay. So customize off, I assume that means? So again, this of course means that neither player will get to choose what they have in terms of exiles, masteries, or talismans, and the rite will start immediately upon pressing the commence button, which means they're not going to have any time to figure out what those things are unless they take some time and check things out and do some casts and do some sprinting and jumping. True. Anor and Arumi probably looking for perhaps the opposite types of setups. Anor has had a lot of luck with this. We saw Anor get a Wolfred with Nutrition Stick on one occasion, and then got another, I think, sap on the next occasion as well, though not Nutrition Stick. But turning Customize off has been kind to Anor in the past. Alright, let's get going then. I hear the water.
The essence.
It's the Fall of Solium. And what do we have? We have a sap on Arumi's side, Worm and Crone. Then we do have sap. We have Wolfred for Anor. What does Wolfred have, you ask? We're about to find out. No Nutrition Stick. I think we can say that much. And Ignarius no Brazen Manor. Then we have Lady River is the last one on Honor's side. Here is Ignarius, gives it up to Lady River. Hiding in the corner there. The throw is just short. Just Volfred back to defend. Iggy back. Here comes Volfred. She gets blocked, but then banishes both defenders. Stunning Claim is, in fact, available to Honor, and that is a good use for it, although not enough time to get back one of the other defenders. There is Arumi plunging for 15 here. No prayer beads on Deluge. He's out. Iggy. Trying to banish Palmas, although Palmas's aura may actually be bigger here, at least when he's next to his sapling. Double banishment there, however, from Ignarius, and so opportunity here. Honor, time to charge it up for the full 30. No special throwing paste abilities here, it doesn't seem, and we would have seen a Celestial Spike if Ignarius had it. So that does not appear to be the case. Ignarius scoops it back up. Lady River. Lady River. The throw is short. Forfeit. Deluge. He plunges, and we've seen this before. Just the usual 15, no prayer beads, so nothing special there. Forfeit. Pops. Gets banished. Ignarius. Looking to stun / knockback Palmas, and nearly makes it all the way into the Pyre, does Ignarius. Comes Forfeit. Just Volfred back to defend. That throw is unblockable. Unless it's going to fall short, or perhaps if it's ever so low in the air when it does, when it is on the way into the Pyre. So interception there, and that leads to a 25 damage plunge for Lady River. So that must have been C's chance active. Corporate sneaks under the defender there. All right side sap? It may be. Yeah, with both players having a sap, there is certainly potential for some serious rekindling here. Iggy. Oh, gets blocked just as he's about to make it in. Banishes one defender. Banishes a second defender, but then goes down. Deluge. He makes it in. That drops an ore down to just 5. So we are perhaps going to find out soon, at least from somebody, as to how much, if any, rekindling there may be. But as chat was saying, strong suspicion that at least on Honor's side, there may be a lot. Iggy. Cannot banish on the throws. Forfeit. Oh no. Blocked. Banished, and gets, also banishes the defender. Lady River. Blocked. And banished. Now Palmas. Nor building a wall. Yeah, the other thing is that I'm not sure we know many talismans here. So definitely still some mysteries in that regard. There are rekindling talismans, and those are, or at least a rekindling talisman, and that would be one that we would not know about until the rekindling happens, of course. There's the stunning claim for an ore. Palmas. Forfeit. Forfeit against Ignarius. Ignarius takes her out. Palmas sidesteps the cast. Here's Ignarius with some room, but runs out of stamina, so can't make it into the Pyre, can't outrun Palmas in that case. Forfeit. Nor moving that sapling. Throw does get off, but forfeit down, and throw is off target. Lady River, that throw looks short. Forfeit, back at it. Blocked here. Now vanish. Forfeit for an ore now to Ignarius. Just rams into Palmas and goes down. Forfeit again. Yoarumi likes to score with the Crones. That is definitely his preferred scorer here. Ooh, and big banishments there as well. So yes, we know seize chance for Lady River, and this might be an opportunity to seize this chance. 25 damage. Means we may see Anor checking how much rekindling there is, depending on who is to score next on her side. And that was Arumi testing to see if he had Stunning Claim. Does not on Deluge. Forfeit. And by the way, we did see in that previous series that Deluge was permanently banished because he plunged without prayer beads, but he's back now. So Arumi back at full strength here. Volfred. Ignarius. Back to Volfred. Back to Ignarius. Nor alternating sides here. Banishes Volfred. Ooh, but good banishment there from Deluge. His throw. He's a little bit wide. Volfred hiding in the corner, waiting for some reinforcements to arrive, and they are here. It's Ignarius. Oh, but he jumps into that cast. Volfred. Throw. That looks on target. It does trigger rekindling, and yes, as suspected, it is the full 50. So second life bar revealed for an ore. Still a mystery as to what Arumi might have. Orb would have hit an ore's Pyre inadvertently, so it bounces out. Volfred. Lady River. Waits for the cast to expire. And goes speeding ahead. Throw. Does this have enough on it? Not quite. Volfred. The throw is short. Then Arumi follows up with a plunge for 30 damage. That's big. That means, depending on who it is, one score might be all Arumi needs. Deluge, the only one who would not be able to do it. Okay, now this is a 25 damage throw, and there is rekindling. And it's 30. 30 for Arumi, which means that yes, he did in fact have one of the rekindling talismans. That is the only way you could have ended up with that. That means slight lead here for Arumi. Ignarius is still able to take him out in one score. Anyone else for an ore would need two. As we said, Deluge is the only one who would need two for Arumi. Anyone else could do it in one. Here is Deluge, though. Thor running in circles around the Pyre. Oh, but look at that. Deluge does get it off. And that's a small score, yes, but it does make it so that Arumi is now in winning range for a score, a full damage score, from even Deluge. Lady River. He goes down. Corporate. Gets knocked back, but the throw does have just enough to make it in. Arumi takes the win.
The scribes themselves surely have taken note.
GG.
The rite is complete.
Certainly the longest customized off of today, at the very least. Let's head back.
Until the next rite.
Yeah, Nor several times triggering that seize chance and then getting to plunge soon thereafter. Those worms, they can score for 25, and that's a pretty big deal. So let's turn Customize back on here. Assuming that we will have Customize on for this next rite. But let us know what you want to see for the next one. Do we have anything in mind, or do we just want these two to go with whatever they want to go with? That works too. Yeah, I did not have a good sense as to what the talismans were on either side, and because I didn't see the names popping up very much, that's why I was thinking to myself, there's a decent chance that someone may have that Rekindling Talisman, and I think we did see that for Arumi. But as you can see, both players still talking about how, I'm not sure what I had. Not sure exactly what it was for that, right? And that is part of the fun of turning Customize off. Alright, Cores, Choose, and Exiles. What shall those exiles be? And after this one, Arumi says, I have a request to make. Alright. As long as it doesn't inherently favor you, as you are a participant in the rites. Okay, so similar to what we saw Core requesting before. So your first character is going to be the only character from that class. And your second and third characters will be from the same class. For example, you could go, say, Kerr in the first slot, and then Nomad in the second and third slot. Yeah, or in Arumi's example, yeah, Harp first, and then 2 Nomads. That works too, in that order. Alright. Let's make it happen.
The essence shall confront the Night Wings. Welcome.
Okay, so that means the first character is one that they are only getting one member of that class from. What do they choose to do there? Arumi says, is Orlek his own class? Does he count as a demon? Is he sort of an arch-demon, a super-demon, his own group? Orlek is banned. Okay, no Orlek at all. Okay, so it's Ruki first. So that means 1 Kerr, in the case for Arumi, and then 1 Harp for Nor going all left side. So that includes the Harp Salute, which we did see her starting to use a bit in a previous rite. It was to set up some big Brazen Manor demon plunges. We'll see if that's what Anor goes for with her second and third characters, because that seems to be that demons is what Arumi's going with here. Would it be the same thing? No. It will be instead the saps. And we know Nor likes playing with 1 sap, but there's only 1 nutrition stick to go around. So that means Palmas cannot have it. He's going with the quick throwing talisman, the Star Splinter, instead. I think we all know what's coming next for Nor in that case. And then that means a second demon in the next spot for Arumi. Arumi says 2 saps. Oh no. And then the Lanthorn. on Ignarius in that last spot for Rumi. So yes, it is Volfred. Yes, it is the Nutrition Stick. And yes, it is Anora's usual Mastery setup with the 10 rekindling. So, here we go. Hamatha first. Oh, she swaps places with Volfred. Volfred goes down. Rookie, he's blocked. Almas. Hamatha. Perhaps waiting for Volfred here. Does so right as Panther's about to get banished. Oh, and Volfred not quite enough time to get the throw off. It is a very small arena, the the Pit of Melee, which means not a lot of room to maneuver, but quick route to the Pyre, and that's what we see from Rookie there. Panther not quite enough time to charge up that cast. Iggy. Volfred putting down that sapling on top of the orb, making it difficult for Rumi to take it here. So Rumi trying to pick off one of those saps, make it a little bit easier. Gets rid of Pamitha. Has it now with Rookie. He gets blocked. Now Pamitha again. She goes down. Banishment with the Lanthorn brings back Rookie. Here he is. He's blocked and banished though. Almas. Over to Volfred, and he has the Nutrition Stick. And we know Anora is dangerous with that. Almas swaps places with Hamatha, but that's not enough. It's Rookie, he gets blocked. Hamatha recovers it. Hamatha biding her time. Swaps places with Palmas, but he goes down. Rumi going back and forth until finally ends up in Rookie's hands. He goes down. Please, Rookie doesn't have it. His paws, okay? His paws. Iggy banishes the defender here. Opportunity for Rumi. Numbing Gust active, so he just has to plunge. But for 30 damage, perhaps a trade that Rumi will take here. Does mean, though, advantage Anora in this series. Rumi is down one character. Volfred. Oh, got the moves. Gets a quick throw off here for 9 damage, but that does mean that now Rumi back at full strength. Volfred down. Palmas. Hamatha. Hamatha switches places with Palmas. Palmas goes down. Now Jody. Haruki. Got a big wall in front of the Pyre. Anora does. Haruki can't break through it here. Hamatha tries to sneak through an opening between the demons, but Arumi says no thank you. Haruki, oh, does make it in that time. 360 Rookie power cast. Well, there's Pamitha plunging for 20. That was something that back in the day, what was it? I think Dress Up Geek Out used to do that a lot. Volfred. Back and forth, but eluding Rookie. Now to Pamitha. He goes down, though. That leaves just Volfred. Almost has returned now. Rookie speeds in for 20 damage, dropping Anora down to 10. But of course, has 2 saps here, so we know she has rekindling. Oh, 1 sec, we're getting lag spikes. I can uninvite you, reinvite you, Anora, if that's helpful. Big, oh, Arumi, actually. Oh, yep. Somebody just disconnected. Let me re-invite you. That may have been the problem. Okay. Invite resent. No scope Rookie. Nice. I'll have to check it out. Alright. Let me know once you're back in Arumi, and I'll give you guys a countdown. I'll go... Oh, Okay, I was gonna give you a countdown to resume, but you guys have got it handled. Ametha banishes one, picks up the orb, retreats, gets the stamina back, and then is on the move. Switches places with Volfred, but he goes down. Ruki against Pamitha, hops around, but does get banished. Pamitha goes down. Jody looking for some room here, but can't find any. Well-placed sapling there from Volfred. Pamitha does switch places with Volfred, and he nearly makes it in there after the shielding off the defender. Ruki. He goes down. Pamitha. She goes down. And Ruki plunges, and in doing so, triggers the 60 rekindling. Volfred down. And with that, we find that with the second life bar revealed, Anor is actually still in the lead. Ametha. She goes down. Nice, I wrote her back. No worries, you did not miss the liberation rite. Volfred. Yeah, so this rite is similar to ones that I think you participated in, Iroder, in that it was the first exile is one class, and then the second exiles are both the same class. So for Irumi, it's Ruki in the first spot, then 2 demons in the second and third spot. For Nor, it was leading off with Pamitha, and then having 2 saps. Pamitha. She goes down. Ruki. He's blocked. Now banished. Now Volfred. Biding time. Oh, look at that. The timing, at least to elude Jody. Well done. Ruki. Blocked. Now banished. Now Pamitha down as well. Almas. Only one left for Anor here. Now has Volfred back. He's on the move. He gets a throw, and that makes it in for 12. Ametha switches places with Volfred. Oh, and he's got the moves, but he goes down here. Ruki. He's blocked. Ametha. Stamina back. Loops around, but not quite in. Ruki again. He sneaks in for 20 damage here. Ametha down. Ruki goes the other way, and for a second there, it looked like he had an opening. Ran into an obstacle there, and that might have slowed him down just enough to give Anor time to switch some people over into a defensive position. Pamitha. Oh, look at this. Looks like there might have been an opening there. Pamitha might have been able to go straight in. Ruki. Oh, sneaks around one defender. Falls to the sapling. Pamitha down. Ruki. Finds an opening again. That's a 20 damage plunge. That drops Anor down to 20. This is, as we were saying, her second life bar has already triggered that rekindling. So next score for Irumi, to me it is a full damage score from anybody, would be enough. And there it is. GG.
Their adversaries confidently thwarted.
Close
The
match.
ceremony is complete.
Anor needs to swap. Alright, no worries, Anor.
Until the next rite.
Irumi says, haven't played Fast Current forever. It is fun. It's fun though. I was kinda thinking we might be approaching Liberation Rite time at this point. I was kinda thinking we might be looking to do that. Now, granted, I didn't give the warning in advance for chat to give any final requests for the penultimate rite. Also, quick throwing sap, not the best of ideas. I mean, it's tough. It is tough. Not with Harp Salute, at least. Rumi says, I'm good with the Liberation Rite. Is there anyone who would like to swap in? Go straight into a Liberation Rite? What? What? That's madness. That's madness. Sonora has swapped out here, so we still have a Rumi, but we need one more. So in that case, I mean, we'd ideally get someone in who has not yet played today. At this point in the night, of course, we've been going for a while, so that list may be small or perhaps non-existent. In which case, we could go back to someone who has already played today. I mean, I could jump in, but I'd say that's a last resort. Is there anyone in chat who would like to finish things off with a ceremonial Liberation Rite? Because if not, then I could go. But at least at the moment, not seeing any volunteers. So, perhaps that will be what we go with here. Iroder is willing and able, but you did already play. You only played over me once, though, right, Iroder? Was that the one where you played each other once and then you swapped out? It's not like you played Arumi like 5 times today and it was an extended series. So I think that might still be decent. You know, I think valid points that you did still play each other today, and, you know, when we do get someone back in for a second time on a given Rite Night, you know, at least we try to make sure that they're playing someone new, but in that case, like, you played them once? That's practically nothing. So I say, if you're up for it, Iroder, let's get you back in. If that works for you. The other thing is that also means, you know, since you were playing a little bit earlier today, you still got the Pyre stuff going in the back of your mind. You know, maybe you don't need as much of a warm-up as someone who has not yet played today, that we're just picking up off the street saying, play Pyre! Alright, awesome. In that case, let me send you an invite. Okay, invite sent. Let me start sending you up on stream as well. And presumably withdrawn again, right? Alright, no worries. No worries. We can go mic-less. Okay, so that means I believe we have Iroder in now. We will be going with our Liberation right here, so that means no request for this one. We're just going to have everyone take their best possible teams and finish things off with a bang. A ceremonial Liberation right. So, let's turn off the in-game music here, and let's return to TariqBot. Actually, let me throw us on here, and then we'll return to TariqBot. So, let's see. What will we have here? TariqBot, we have some requests for you. Firstly, that. There we go. Now we should be all set and ready to go. So, let's jump in for our Liberation Rite. Excuse me, this was not the right version. Shriekbot, I told you to do the Essence version. You ignored me. So much for that.
The essence stand ready. Withdrawn stand prepared. Now we shall get started.
So, Arumi leading off with Bertrude here. Rare beads. We do see oftentimes Arumi does like to go the plunging rather than the throwing route with the Crones. In Iroder's case, it'll be Raji with the Lanthorn. Defensive choice here, and notably, the fully upgraded portals, so gaining infinite stamina whenever someone goes through them, so that may be an indication of what we see with our second or third picks for Iroder. Then Jody in the second spot here for Arumi, and she will have the Lanthorn. Second one for Iroder. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Perhaps a meta Vids Palette as the primary person that Iroder is looking to send through those portals to gain the infinite stamina. Last one here for Arumi. It'll be Snadra by the looks of things, with the Goals Bracer, so big power casts from her. Last one for Iroder. Almas. Nutrition Stick? Yes, indeed. And full right side, so 50 rekindling. And that is it. So, this is our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rite. Arumi on the left, representing the Essence. Iroder on the right, representing the Withdrawn. Best of luck to you both.
A second wind. The essence vanished to last. In honor of the scribes. Sandra vanished. Be gone, Bertrand. The orbs engulfed. The orb is taken. Oh my word. Now end the ceremony. And it is
And it is
done.
done. Iroder takes the right. GG. And for whatever reason, TariqBot got this one. Got this one right, but did not get the first one right. Alright, TariqBot. Anyways, that was our Liberation Rite, our final rite of the night between Arumi and Iroder. Thank you both, and thank you everyone who participated in the rites today, and thank you everyone in chat who gave us all of your requests. We had a bunch of creative ones today. It was a lot of good stuff. So, without further ado, I'm gonna hop out of Discord, and I will see you guys next week. And that means I am abandoning TariqBot after he betrayed me playing the wrong song. Imagine that. Imagine that. Anyways, let's just turn on in-game audio real quick here. And throw this on right here. So, again, thank you everybody who participated in the Rites today. Thank you everyone in chat who gave us the various requests. For those of you who are interested in getting more involved in all this multiplayer Pyre action, the best way to do so is, of course, by joining the Rite Club Discord server. Just by pressing that link right there. That is the place where we're doing all this coordination for these Rite Nights. These Rite Nights are happening every 3:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Daylight Time on Sundays. My name is Lids. I'm the host of these Rite Nights. Other than the Rite Nights, I'm also streaming Mass Effect Legendary Edition, the remastered version of my favorite game ever. It's the campaign of that on Fridays, then doing multiplayer Mass Effect on Saturdays, and of course, Rite Nights Sundays. Then we're going to squeeze in a Witcher 3 stream, hopefully, sometime during the week, this upcoming week, and that will be perhaps us finishing the Witcher 3 campaign after like 400 hours, so I'm very excited for that. That is some big stuff happening there as well. Then on YouTube, Lids Vids there as well, posting the VODs for these Rite Nights, as well as VODs for all the other streams, as well as videos for Gwent, the Witcher card game. New expansions for that coming out every week, so tons of new stuff for us to explore there as well. Then, if you haven't done so yet already, you can of course hit the follow button to get a notification when I go live. You can also follow me on Twitter at LidsVids. I'll post there when we're live as well. And for staying up to date on all things Lids, the best place to do that is actually by joining my own Discord group, which you can do right there. And that is going to be it for me today. So thank you all for watching the stream. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.